Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Cultists Season 2, Episode 8, After Party. I'm so glad to have you here. I'm so glad to see everyone on the premiere of the episode. We're winding down Episode 2, but man, it has been a great time. I love this season, and let me tell you, I am so happy today. I really hope that everyone is happy today because I've had a great Thanksgiving. I had a wonderful Thanksgiving lunch today with Megan, who's going to be here on the show, and Brennan, but Megan cooked it. Fantastic Thanksgiving today. I hope everyone loved it. I see them backstage laughing. Let me go ahead and bring them up because they are our special guests today. Let me show you who we've got today. We have got Megan and Brennan with us, and I am so happy to have them here. We have got Megan. So now, Megan and Brennan. Now, you may know Megan from Dinner and a Board Game, right? You probably have seen her before. She's been on the show with us before. You may have seen her also as the police officer, but she is the costume designer for the show. Megan, you want to say hi?
Hello. I hope y'all are doing well. Happy Thanksgiving.
She cooked the perfect Thanksgiving dinner. It was perfect. We'll talk about in the wind down as that goes because it was wonderful. And then we also have Brennan here with us. Brennan is our director of photography for the entire show, and he is the one who is making everything technical happen for the show, behind the scenes, camera, videography, audio. It's all because of Brennan. I'm so happy that he's here to talk to us. So everybody say hi to Brennan.
Hey guys.
And Brennan, say hi to everybody.
Hey guys. I beat you to it just a little bit.
Yeah, I see everyone in the chat. So good. Left Spin says, great episode. Thank you so much, Left Spin. Glad you enjoyed it. We love this episode. Jason also says, loved it as always. And then Stray's here. Welcome, Stray. Great to see you. Great to see you. And then, regarding Thanksgiving dinner, Jason says, yum. Yes, exactly. And then Left Spin. Hello, Megan and Brennan. And Heather, hi, you too. So hey, lots of love for Megan and Brennan. Now it is, Megan and Brennan have been married for about a year now.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why they are together. Yep, there you go. They have been married for a lot of years.
Same couch.
Yeah, exactly. So, some people have asked when we were doing Dinner and a Board Game, because Megan and I co-host Dinner and a Board Game. But no, Megan and I are cousins.
Yeah.
It's Megan is right. Yeah, just for clarification, that Megan was dating at the time the director of photography, Brennan, and now they're married, and so that is that situation over there.
Thanks, Ben. Appreciate you.
Director of photography is dope. That's right.
Sometimes people know what they're talking about.
Left Spin says, book learning only gets you so far. Experience is a better teacher.
I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
And that's what we were saying about experience, because we've been working on stuff in between. So it definitely, you learn so much faster.
Yeah, I completely agree, because we want to do more fantasy stuff. We want to do sci-fi stuff. I got stuff to work on. Brennan's got stuff to work on. Megan's got stuff in her. Brianna's got tons of stuff on her mind. But I knew, when I was trying to set this up, that if I, there are things I want to do, like Theophany, like we were talking about in the Morning Grind and Rabavania. But I knew that if I started with that, I would not be happy with what we could produce. So I was like, what can we produce? We could do something like the Cultist is the mockumentary style and something like that. We can learn, and then, we're going to bring it.
Actually, speaking of Theophany and Rabavania, I just ran into somebody who is particularly good at doing puppets and art design and stuff. So I may have, on this last feature that I was on, ran into someone who might be exactly the guy that we need to talk to about that stuff.
Well, that would be great. Send them my way, because I have thought about puppets for Rabavania. I mean, I've thought about that. I'm not sure if it's right or not. I mean, just when I was thinking about I could do puppets, I had thought about that.
Well, he could do puppets. He could do the silhouettes with all that stuff. He's just really good at art direction and building things.
I think he would be a good help.
He might be the perfect fit.
Yeah.
The connections are. Oh my God, we have a super chat. Stray has given us a super chat. Stray has sent a $50 super chat.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Stray Kismet. Thank you so much. That I really appreciate that. Stray says, I'm not a sponsor, but I accept you guys. Thank you so much, Stray. Thank you. Stray is one of the regulars. here with us every day during the morning grind. I really appreciate this. More than you can imagine. When I started this 30 days ago, this is like day 27 of the live streaming. I decided to start, and it's become something really amazing. And you've been a big part of that, Stray. You've been a big part of that. And I really appreciate your being here. Thank you so much. Well, then I tell you what, let's go ahead and start watching episode 8, the one that we just watched. And you can call out and have it stopped at any time. I mean, I've got thoughts. We think it's a great episode. So I'm just going to start it. We can all watch it together here on the stream. But if you've got thoughts, then just shout it out, and then we'll stop it right here. So I'm going to bring this up. Okay, so here we go. Episode 8. And like I said, just call for it to stop and add commentary whenever.
I love the vault case that's on the back.
I was about to say that. I didn't even notice.
That's so funny.
I remember when we were editing this, and Heath, and it was the best take. I mean, I think there were multiple reasons why we had to use it, and Heath made a comment that was like, "What's the character's name again?" Dang,
Acantha.
Yeah, he was like, Acantha's Glock is just sitting back there or something.
Right. Okay.
Strapped and ready to go.
So if you don't know what we're talking about, like if you look at the scene and you go, everything looks fine to me. This was an issue with this scene that we set everything up. Of course, this is in my living room and you're looking into my kitchen. And that was the scene, the scene that was Acantha and Shay's cottage, and it's particularly Acantha here. And so there's a lot of equipment in the kitchen, like sitting down on the floor. And then I don't know if you can see, you probably can't see my cursor, but if you look up behind her hat, and like we're calling attention to it because people probably wouldn't notice.
No,
like at the end.
I didn't even see it. But.
Yeah, this black case that is sitting up.
The orange stripe.
Yeah, with the orange, whatever it is right there. That's actually an equipment case that has, I don't know what but some type of camera equipment, right, Brennan?
No, it was microphones. Her microphone went out the take before this, and this was the last take that we did, and I had to change her batteries, and I left the case open.
That's right. Oh, that's right. So the case, everything was down behind all the equipment was down there, and then something wrong. Yeah, right. Went with her microphone, and then hold on, we got to fix it. But then that case accidentally got left on this take up on the counter, so you can see it. And we were trying to figure out what to do with it, but it's some type of case. But this was the best take, and so it was the one that had to go. But it looks like some kind of like vault, and I've seen people store guns in those.
Yeah,
so
that's like usually for.
Right. So that's where that actually Acantha has a Glock. So that's our in-universe explanation.
Yeah. For anyone who's not in the film industry, it's actually super common to buy gun cases and rifle cases to carry stuff around. It's nice. They're nice cases.
I never thought about that.
Actually. Yeah. Like those tube lights that Kevin has. He's got like a 4-foot rifle case or a 5-foot rifle case. Nice. That you just store all of them in. Yeah.
I was looking last Thanksgiving, which was yesterday. I was looking yesterday at Bass Pro Shop, and they had like ammo cases that were rust proof.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and I actually thought about that in terms of like rust proof ammo cases. Maybe I need some, but I actually thought about it in terms of gear as far as videography goes as well. And I was like, oh, well, this could be a good way to store it. So. Right. All right. So that was half a second into this episode. and that's what's going on in the background. But it was the perfect take. So we took it. And actually, I think I talked about, like, is there some way that we can mask that out or duplicate it? Like, no. Yeah. It was not happening.
It was not possible, sadly.
So but that's fine. In universe, Acantha's Glock. That's what's in that.
We need to write that in for the next season.
Yeah, she needs to. Yeah,
she needs
to pack some heat next season.
No, I'm
joking. That would be amazing.
Oh, hi Ben. Good to see you again.
Yeah, you do have a very aesthetic pleasing house to shoot in. It's not there's not a ton of space, so it's not like the best logistically, but it looks very good on camera.
Right. Yeah, it's a small house. So that's a problem. But on the other hand, it was the right place because we had problems in season 1 finding interior locations.
Yeah.
And it's a big deal. You know, I had thought about David, and that ended up being a no-go. And then also like my brother Seth, you know, we could have shot at his house. But on the other hand, you know, as I found out, there's so much that goes on. You're like, hey, can we shoot for, you know, a day? But there's actually so much there that it's pretty disruptive to somebody's house.
Yeah.
So
super.
My house is, you know,
best for that.
I don't care what happens in my house, so we can do it. Left Spin says CGI in Acantha's familiar instead of the Pelican case. Oh, we didn't think about that.
It's not a bad idea. We could have just done like, you know how that dude replaces like the T-Rex from Jurassic Park with his cat and whatever.
Yeah,
like we could have done something like
yeah, that's what we should have done. We couldn't actually just mask it out and have something static there like the background, but yeah, we should have had like her
like a crow or something.
Crow or owl bear or something like that in the background. Yeah, we could have done that.
What's wrong? Did you kill Steve?
No. I can't cast a spell.
We have talked about with Brianna in other episodes. Oh, we've got Owl Kitty. Yeah, maybe Owl is Heather says that maybe it should be her, like Owl Bear or something.
just do something.
But we had talked about how we had explored with Brianna in other episodes the range of emotions in this episode, in this season.
Yeah.
That we didn't have in season 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's another example of that. And I'm very proud of this scene.
Glenn is
you
great.
know, yeah, as far as the relationship between the two and everything like that, it's really incredible.
Why not?
I can't do it alone. I need Rob.
Sweetie, I don't think he's coming back.
He's not dead. He's just swimming. I mean, he grew gills and webbed fingers and everything.
He's with his own kind now.
Will you please help me? There must be something that we can do. I'll do anything.
Now, you know, at this moment, we talked about previously in other episodes that Acantha and Shay will lie to the guys because they don't want to hurt their feelings. And so they'll send them off in a lie because, you know, Acantha, Shay did that. And then Ben came back, and then Acantha has to deal with the lie, but doesn't want him sad.
He's so kind to him.
Right. And so ends up having to create another lie. And so she had sent him off on another lie. And now he's back because of that lie. So, you know, they're having to do that. Oh, Heather, I didn't know this. There's some information here. Heather says that's the name. Is it Owl Kitty, the name of the cat who got subbed in?
Gotcha.
I didn't know that. I've seen that video, but okay, I got you, Heather. Thank you. Got you.
There is one thing we could try. Long ago, the Deep Ones taught Obed Marsh how to summon them. Look. This symbol has been found carved on smooth river stones. When dropped into the sea and the appropriate prayers said, the Deep Ones will emerge from the water in times of great need.
This scene also just looks beautiful.
I was about to say, it just feels very like soft. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think that's mostly from her voice, to be honest.
Well, no, but like I don't know. Well, with your house and everything, the colors and stuff, it just seems
Very nice. Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. Like it just
okay.
everything's working here. Her voice, the way it was shot, the lighting.
Yeah,
I appreciate you throwing it to me, but it's just a China ball in between the two of them. It's nothing fancy.
But everything that happened here. The scene, and this was shot early. Like this may still was this still even the first day of shooting of this?
I think this was the first scene.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't the first scene shot because the first scene shot was Ben in my bedroom, my bathroom.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
that's right.
That was actually the first scene of season 2 shot. But it was early. It may have still been on the first day. I think
it was definitely
on the first day. Yeah.
Because I think, yeah.
That's perfect. That's exactly what I'm going to do. But where do I get one of the stones? Thank you so much.
Megan, do you want to talk about the change in costuming from Acantha?
Yeah, that's what I was literally about to say.
Okay, then let's talk about that. I'm going to take my camera down for just a second and let you talk about that.
Okay. No, I was about to say that I was really happy with her corset change, because like, I mean, I didn't know what I was doing as much the first time, but the second time around I had taken the pandemic to learn more skills that I had not learned before. And so one of the things I picked up was like 11th century stays. And obviously this is like plastic boning, but I learned to make a full corset from scratch. Sewing the channels, putting boning in. So I think that one looks really good on her.
Is this hat the same from season 1?
Yes, the hat's the same.
Okay.
I really
the
like
hat.
her hat. That's just, I know I want to buy one for myself. But yeah, between the hat and that, I think she just looks so much better the second time around.
Yeah.
And I want that corset afterwards because I want to wear it. I mean, it's I think it's a tablecloth actually. Is the like outside fabric, or maybe a curtain, one of the two. Because I like to thrift for my my fabrics because it's a lot cheaper and you can find some cool stuff. But
didn't the togas get upgraded too? Like,
the togas got upgraded, especially Dax.
Let's pull that back. See here. I have the corset, so I mean that's here. That's in my closet.
Yeah, no, I know.
Right,
I just want to
wear it, so it's there.
Or maybe you could auction it off. I don't know. It's a well-made. I mean, it's a well-made.
Also, I love that Glenn was always wearing this same tight shirt every day. He's just like,
I know. He just has one look.
Just super jacked.
Right. Yeah, we were talking about that before the live stream got started. That Glenn, who plays Ben here, he got seriously. He was like after the show, like after we had started, he was like pulling out exercise equipment and like attaching it to the flagpole and like working out and stuff like that. I was like, oh my God, we're gonna have to. Ben got jacked between season 1 and season 2.
His toga too got better because the first time I don't think I was there one of the days that there was filming and it just kind of fell apart. So this one I actually like made sure was not going to like it was what it should have been. And then Dax's I completely redid his is a lot upgraded.
That was a complete rebuild.
Yeah,
that was a complete rebuild.
So most of these, I mean, pretty much everybody was a rebuild. Just using what I had learned in my costuming as I grow.
Well, we
but
should
the
talk
corset in particular, every time I see that, I was like.
Well, yeah, I was going to say that after Megan figured out corsets and then had done a new corset for Acantha for this season, and now like everybody's gonna be in a corset.
I love making them. I think they're so fun.
And I think what I heard Heath and her talking about was that all the guys are going to get Black Panther and Iron Man suits.
Yeah. Don't make me do that.
But it's gonna, instead of CGI, it's actually gonna like be in a ring and like explode out and scale out. And
I've learned those skills.
Yeah.
We had talked about previously, the difference between Ben's toga in season 1 and season 2 that was made, and that like we're talking about, like we just barely made it with Ben's toga in season 1, and arguably we didn't make it with the Ben's toga.
That one was not what I thought was going to work.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there's several takes in season 1 that made it into the show where he's got his hand behind his back.
Right, like he's just holding it.
Yeah, he's just holding it together.
That's what I remember, because like I think I was at work or something and nobody told me, and I was like, why didn't somebody tell me he was holding it on himself?
Right. I mean, it works for the character. I mean, it actually works for the character. But we got it better, like how it should be this time. Yeah. Left Spin, Brennan, is cheering on practical lighting. Yep. And Left Spin also says wardrobe is a hard to fill role on photo shoots and small film productions. It is, right? Yeah, because because we're trying, budget is a certain thing, and Megan is working on different days, because even though Megan had done all the costume design and all of that early, in pre-production, whether or not you can actually be there and be looking at the costume as it is actually displayed in every
jobs.
Yeah, I don't think we ever called last looks on set once.
No, and that's just unfortunate with scheduling. But I gotta make money, so
yeah. Well, we'll work on that for season 3. Like that was actually a big part of what I learned in season 1, that the actors are actually, they're focused on their acting, and they're not focused on what they're wearing. I mean, they will wear whatever it is. Like they will come back from the bathroom, they'll come back from a break, and just be like, whatever.
That's what, yeah, I don't think people always know. And I'm like, and especially since I'm an actor too. And I think that it's funny because if I'm acting too and not doing costumes in like a theater production or something, but I am constantly fixing other people before they go on. I'm making sure their tags are in. I'm making sure they're tucked correctly. I just can't not do that. But yeah, if they're acting, they're not even thinking about it.
In what limited acting experience I have, and that's why I think this surprised me, is that I think, like, as I remember in my limited acting experience, very limited, I'm just saying, but that I think I was conscious about what I was wearing. That okay, what am I wearing? I remember that being a part of that, but that's apparently not something that everyone.
No, I think that's because you're coming from the other side. Probably, like some people only do acting, and it may not always like they're doing their thing, they're doing their craft. Is I gotta watch out for it. That's my job.
Yeah. So having somebody on set watching for that specifically is the makeup or the costuming. So that's important. But Stray is complimenting, I believe you, Megan, here, saying your craft is strong.
Thank you.
I believe that's
Thank you. I hope to continue to make it stronger.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Mallory's great.
Yeah.
What was that?
Mallory's just great.
She's just awesome.
Worked with her on a couple different things now. She's just always killing it.
Mallory is amazing.
I wanted to see her. She was in Little Shop of Horrors. I wanted to go see it, and I had in Atlanta, and I had a show on top of it. But she's wonderful. Yeah.
The emotion also that she had come up with, that potentially between her and Ben, it comes across so wonderfully in this.
She's really good those up close shots. She's just
Close-ups.
Yes. Yes. I do not do film. I am not filming.
This was back, we did all of the park shots here in one day.
Yeah, was it one day? It really was.
It was a cold day too.
And it was, I know we've talked about that before. This was a cold day and we did the jump, we did the other scenes, we did the jump scene, and we did this all in one day. But this came up again, the range of emotion is something, again, I'm so proud about. Here again, we're experiencing a lot more emotion than we ever did in season 1.
Yeah.
Oh, well, all right. Well, that could be.
Yeah, probably.
It could be that, I've got to come up with some other lie, and she feeds them some other lie to keep them going. Because, when I was writing it, I was thinking that, that the witches are always like, the guys come in with a problem, and Acantha hates to see them hurting, and so comes up with some kind of lie that fixes it and makes them happy in the moment. But then they go off and then, it doesn't work or whatever. And they come back sad again. And then, you don't want to see them sad. So rather than breaking the truth to them, you make up another lie and, to make them happy in the moment. And then, it keeps going. But then again, gullibility is one. Mallory. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, just the theme of that is going to get expounded on in season 3. And Acantha's going to be responsible for Rob actually dying. And then they're all going to go to jail.
Yeah, so he's so gullible. But Mallory was saying, and I think you see this in her performance, and I wish she were here to talk about this, but she was wondering if Acantha was actually attracted to.
Yeah, I thought that before
Ben.
Watching. I haven't heard her talk about that, but just watching, I wondered if there wasn't a little crush in between them or something. I don't know.
And I think
because he got buff, man.
Yeah, because he got buff, and now he comes into and he's buff. Yeah, when Brianna and I were writing it, we hadn't thought about that. Like that wasn't something that had come up with, because I think that I wish Brianna were here, but she has Thanksgiving and was today, and she's still driving back, and she wasn't able to join us. So she's still involved. So do your physical Thanksgiving things. So she'll be next time. She didn't quite get back in time to make it here, but I wish she may be able to talk about it another time, that Acantha had brought that up to her, like on set, that I'm feeling as I'm reading the script that I am like falling for him, and there's some kind of romantic interest. And like I said, that was not something we had thought about in the scripts, but I think that's something that plays well and something we could play with in season 3, because they planted the seed as actor and actress.
I think it's always interesting what actors bring, just their inner world of the character that maybe the writer or director or whatever hasn't thought of yet.
So Heather does ask the question.
Yeah.
Iconic.
Heather asked the question. She happened to have that rock handy. Was she expecting him and preparing another lie, or is this her real witchcraft in action? Stuff to ponder. Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. Like that rock. Oh, I should have it here. That rock is actually over in the curio cabinet that's in the kitchen with the rest of the cultist props. So because actually I prepared 3 different rocks. Those are clay rocks that she handed him, and I prepared 3 of them that look close to identical. I mean, they were close to the same, because when he drops it, we're about to see him drop it. I was like, we may have to repeat that scene. Yeah. And so, and I think we talked about, Dax was talking about that when he was here, that you can still see, if you go to the park today, this is, what is this, Oak Mountain?
Yeah, it's
Oak Mountain. Yeah, you can still see that rock that he dropped.
I was about to say, and there it shall lie forever.
That's great.
Yeah, we got it in one shot, and the actual rock used in this shot is still sitting in the water, and you can see it at the end of this pier. I have the other 2 that were reserve rocks in the curio cabinet for the cultists.
But the first was enough.
But yeah, right. She's got, but also she's got all this stuff around her, all this magic stuff, right? And Lespin says, I knew that paperweight would come in handy. But that's what it was. It was like, I need a rock. It's this paperweight. Maybe it was. Heather is laughing. And Lespin says, Acantha, she likes them buff and dumb. That's how it likes them. And yes.
Yeah, I was about to say, is that himbo?
But this scene here was, again, bringing the emotions.
You never knew how much you meant to me. You're like the father I never had. If I hadn't found you, I don't know what would have happened to me.
Like, I mean, it's not like anything's good has happened to him since he found Rob.
Well, he's been fed. He's had some donuts and some coffee. It's probably more than
he's had some a friend.
He got that. And Stray says, no one go looking for the rock, please. Like, not, on the other hand, if you find it, if you see it, if you're there and you look, or just like take a photo of it, look,
take a picture of it, post it.
Yeah, it's down there.
It's $1 million from Fargo. You just gotta go find it.
Yeah, you can take it if you take it from the lake. On the other hand, or just photograph it and tag me and stuff like that. Will say that you actually went to the pilgrimage.
Leave it for others to find.
Yeah, to see that.
I need you.
That symbol. Oh, yeah, I stopped at a good place. That symbol right there is the crest of Dagon.
Interesting.
That David designed for Journey to the Tree of Sorrow. So I replicated that symbol on that rock. It's the crest of Dagon. And if you go over to the Journey to the Tree of Sorrow's YouTube channel, you will find the crest of Dagon. It was designed by David. And then I wrote up the actual history and lore of that as it would actually appear in the Cthulhu mythos. So not a joke, but the actual history and symbol of that icon. And then it was read professionally by a professional narrator. and you can find that on the Journey Tree of Sorrows YouTube channel. So if you want the actual history of the symbol that is on that rock, you can find it. Left Spin also says he made some friends and found community. Exactly. He found where he belonged.
Heartwarming.
Oh.
Please come back.
Shot.
That's the best shot in the series.
Every time I see it.
I was going to ask you to comment on that, Brennan, because there was a lot of back and forth about.
Yeah, I had to fight you guys to get this.
So tell us about that.
Beautiful.
I don't remember exactly what the stances were. I think y'all wanted that because we compromised. We shot it this way. I wanted the water to just envelop the frame and him to be under, I wanted it to be above his head. I wanted it to just be him in the water. So it's kind of like he's been enveloped by it. And y'all were like, no, we need to get wider. We need to be farther back so we can see the whole lake, the vista. And I think so we shot it both ways. Thankfully.
Yeah, right.
And we used the one that y'all wanted to get as the intro to the scene. That's what we cut to at the beginning. And then we use this as the tag at the end. And I think this is a good button to end the scene on, just because there's just something about it that's just feels very lonely.
Yeah.
I agree.
Emotion in me to see that. Even if I didn't have any context, I don't know. I think it's just beautiful.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
I think I remember because I do remember 3 or 4 different options here for what this shot was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And I remember potentially is there a slow zoom in? I think I remember this. Is there a slow zoom in or a slow zoom out? There was a lot of different things shot here.
Yeah.
That we had to figure out in editing, which was going to be the shot for him. But yeah, I agree. What we got here, this is just with the water and just him, looks great. I think I do remember some things you're talking about now, Brennan, some wider shots that had like the horizon, the lake available, and so you see all more trees and things like that, and it was more encompassing. But him in the water, it works great.
I really love it. Thank you for keeping it, Mr. Director.
Left Spin says, and Rob says, ouch, when you drop the rock into the lake. Yeah. And Stray says, nice symbolism. Yeah, I think so. So whatever, after all the discussion or whatever, I think that this was the right scene. Yeah, the right cut.
This was the scene that I like most out of the whole season, and that shot in particular. It's the one place we get to be a little bit metaphorical.
Yeah.
It's nice.
And him, actually, that was also a thing I remember that Brianna really liked about this, is that it ends with him with the shoulders slumped, because it starts out with him with a little bit higher.
Yeah.
And then his shoulders slump wait, where is Rob? He's not here. He was supposed to be here.
I think Spin's heading out.
Yeah.
We'll see you, buddy.
Oh.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming.
No, we'll see you. I will definitely see you later on. Thank you so much for being here, Left Spin. Good seeing you.
But yeah, I agree. I really liked that posture change. He kept it consistent across the whole thing, which was nice. And it actually let us have options later in the edit. But I agree. He and Brianna worked really well to put that together.
So weird to see Mike not in his robe, right?
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
Because that's the first time that he's actually dressed as a normal person.
That's Mike.
Ben?
Yes.
Say.
I'm sorry?
No, we said that it just looks like Peter, and he said those are his clothes, right? And I said, yeah, I mean, you might as well if he has something that fits that works.
Yeah.
So it's funny.
That's just Peter.
You? What are you doing here? I'm so glad you're here. I thought maybe you were doing time.
didn't we have to shoot this a lot? I feel like with audio and something like this, that this scene took a long time to get.
Yeah, because we were basically downtown, and there were some people with some leaf blowers nearby, and I think there was construction a few blocks down, and the airplanes, a lot of airplanes that day. And I think there was a train at one point.
I remember now that you say that, I remember that because there was the train, that was coming by, right? But also there was the guy with the leaf blower. I forgot about that. And we're like, what are we gonna do about this guy with the leaf blower? And I should have done something. Okay, that was supposed to be me. But like, what do we do? We go talk to this guy with the leaf blower, but then like as soon as I think maybe I gotta go talk to this guy with the leaf blower. But like as soon as I like have that thought in my mind, I remember like turning around that I guess I'm gonna have to do something about this guy, like 'cause he was way over there. But Brennan already put down his camera, and Brennan was going through the gate, and you went to talk to him. So Brennan went and talked to the leaf blower guy. And like, okay, so Brennan's
not ruin my shot.
Right, yeah.
Please
Brennan's straw snapped just like slightly before mine, and it was like, I'm going out this gate, and I'm gonna go talk to this leaf blower guy. I was like, well, okay, well, I guess Brennan is going to the leaf blower guy. And then a few minutes later, Brennan came back to the gate, and he was like, all right, I told him to like shut up for the next few minutes while we get this, or something like that. I don't remember what it was, but it was like, but Brennan took care of leaf blower guy, all right?
That's definitely how I talked to him. I just went over there and I yelled at him, and he just sort of put his tail between his legs.
I think you actually said like, hey, we're trying to shoot a show here, or something like that. Can you like chill with the leaf blower for like?
Yeah, I went up with my puppy dog eyes and all that because I've got such a lovable, cute face.
Sir.
Yeah.
I'm in the big house.
So what's up?
Well, I went to the lake to try to summon Rob, but he didn't come back.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Ben. Maybe he's too far off by now.
I guess I'm gonna have to kill Steve by myself, but I need your help.
Yeah, man. Of course, whatever I can do.
I want you to help me fully dedicate myself to Cthulhu, like Rob did.
Wait, you don't mean...
I do. It's the only way.
Ben, I don't think I can do that again, man.
Please, Mike. You're the wizard priest. You're the only one who can do it. Here.
And I remember them asking, because it wasn't specified in the script, like what is actually being passed here? Because it's supposed to be off camera, like it is, like something's being passed here. But like I remember Mike, because it wasn't specified in that scene. Yeah, somebody hands something over, like what is actually happening here? So that's when Mike realizes that he's holding a temporary tattoo, not the brand.
I like that though. It's a good, simple way to like keep a question going in someone's mind. It just makes it a little more engaging watching it.
Okay. I'll prepare the ritual. You go gather the coal. Mom won't let me out of the house, but maybe we can do it here while she's gone.
Okay. Thank you.
I've lost everything. My robe, my candles, my altar. But Ben really needs me, and this is too important. But I need my robe first. But luckily, I think I know exactly how to get it back. Bella?
I hope we get to talk to Ava. I'm so glad that she's back for this season.
How old is she here?
I'm not sure. Now, see, that's going to be an issue in season 3 because I want her back for season 3. But, season 3 takes place like 10 minutes after the end of season 1. But,
yeah,
the person who's going to kill us is going to be
at that age.
yeah, that's going to be an issue.
But,
we're going to have to run for whatever we got.
Good, though. Yeah.
If she's willing to come back, if we're able to do it and she's willing to come back, then that would be great. But I love this because I remember he calls for Bella and we're like, well, she's got to be parked like just immediately off scene. Like, where was she? Like just off camera.
Sitting there waiting to bother him.
Hello, loser.
And I love that line.
What Megan says to me every day I walk in the door.
It's in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
Good morning, loser. Oh, no.
Loser.
Yeah.
You know where Mom put my robe, don't you?
Maybe.
Where is it?
I'm not telling.
Please, will you just tell me?
I don't think so.
All right. You know how you're always wanting to come to one of our parties, right?
We're going to see Ava in the big time. You know, she's going to be one of the ones that hits it big. You know, she is out there. She's got the agents, and you know, her mom is working on her side and all of that. You know,
It'll be fine.
Oh yeah.
you're gonna see Ava in some other stuff, and then it's gonna be one of those things where like, oh, Ava started the Cultists. I really think so. So watch out for that.
Yeah.
Well, we're about to have one in the backyard, and if you give me my robe, I'll let you come. And I'll let you be the high priestess too.
Ah, okay. Just a sec.
Thought that might work.
And also the robe has to be kind of just offset. That like she can't take 10 minutes to go get the robe wherever it was.
What's funny is that then they're saying that it's like it was so close, like he could have found it.
Right. Right.
Thank you.
If Mom finds out you're doing this again, you're going to be in big trouble.
Well, she's not going to because no one's going to tell her, are they? Good.
I just want to see him get in trouble again.
It's just perfect.
So good.
It's a perfect little sister.
There were some great takes there because I remember Brianna's comment when we were looking at different takes of her doing that scene, and she was like, there are some takes where it looks like she's gonna murder him, like she's got like some kind of like psychotic murderer smile or something going on. So I remember Brianna sifting through like what type of smile exactly does Ava need to provide here, because
Evil.
Ava provided a great range of ones to talk to. Yes, ranging from the mischievous sibling to like the psychotic mass murderer in disguise. She gave us all of that range to pick between. So this is it. Let's see, what does Stray says? Stray says the zoom in with the build up and then zoom out while they're later talking is so good. LOL. Well, that's all Brennan. Brennan took care of all that, so that's Brennan right there.
Yeah. We had to move fast, and that zoom was a really efficient way to cover scenes. There's some in the earlier episodes where it's all actually one take. If you stand to watch it long enough, we just zoom into different people. But it's a great way to start wide and then work in on a scene like people traditionally do.
We have talked about in other episodes that I had not seen Parks and Recs before we started this.
Oh, it's so good.
Right. So it was so I was just telling people that it wasn't that Parks and Recs was not an influence on me when I was writing, producing, whatever, the Cultists, but that it was definitely an influence on the cinematography because you were familiar with it, Brennan. And so you can and after when I watched Parks and Recs, I was like, oh yes. So that's where Brennan got some of the ideas about what this could be like, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's
that in The Office, man. It's like the
And
two gold standards for this kind of thing.
So good.
right. I was much more influenced by The Office. I mean, The Office was very influential on me when I was writing and conceptualizing it. I was not familiar with Parks and Rec, so my influence. So that makes it a really cool kind of blend, right? You know, when the writing and stuff was going on, I was thinking Office. Some of the cinematography was influenced by Parks and Rec, so and then it all comes in together into whatever we've got here.
Into the Cultists.
Right, into the Cultists, right.
I hear chicks date brands, really.
That was ad-libbed, right? I mean, that was not the chicks dig brands, right? Yeah. We were trying to come up with some kind of thing like that. That was just ad-libbed by Peter there as what they were talking about right there. Like that was not in the script, but it worked so well. Like, what are they talking about? Yeah, chicks dig brands.
I'm here.
Oh, good. Everyone, Bella is going to be our high priestess today.
Oh, welcome, Bella. Glad to have you in the call.
Thank you. It's good to finally be here.
Like, what passive aggressive kind of tone is that from the little sister when she says that? I love it. I love it. She does such a great job.
All right. I've gathered you here today under the most serious of circumstances. Ben, devoted disciple of Rob and follower of Father Dagon, no longer being initiated of the cult. He has decided to devote himself fully to Cthulhu. Ben, do you understand the gravity of the ritual of which...
I also remember this taking a long time to shoot.
Forever.
I feel like we took a bajillion takes of this in order to get this on camera.
Well, this is one of those things. It's like shooting a dinner scene, right? You've got like 6 characters that are all around an object, and they have you got to get this person talking to this person, 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 and then you got to reverse all of it, and then you got to get the mom coming in. It's like you got to get the insert of the bear being with ketchup, and it could have been a lot worse. Like we could have really shot a lot more of this to get a lot more angles. But yeah, this was a like good 4 or 5 hours, I think, that we shot this.
It took a long time. And I also just remember that this is there's a long monologue in here that Peter had to do. And so, there was that issue as well that had to be right. And it took a long time to actually shoot.
you're about to participate. Do you partake in it of your own free will?
I do.
So let it be done. Sacrificial victim? Oh, whoa, Bella. Wait a second. You sure about this?
Yeah, it's okay. I don't like yellow bears anyway.
Thank you, Bella. I hear the Care Bears make the best sacrificial victims.
High Priestess? Do.
And this is just an insert that, like, all right, because we did this, all the many times we did this whole scene, it didn't involve actually getting the Care Bear dirty with ketchup. This is like the one-off insert scene that happened.
Yeah, thankfully.
Yeah.
I'll take one.
I'm like getting ketchup on you.
I know, and we did this several times. I remember we had to apply ketchup and then wipe it off. Many times in the different scenes and things like that. And I think that we do have a continuity thing. I mean, maybe I shouldn't even bring it up, but just because that was such a thing, like over and over and over again. And I know that Peter, who plays Mike, hated that. Like getting stuff on his right. He was not happy. The barbecue from season 1 in order to do the scene.
He signed up for it though.
Yeah. Well, he signed it. Yeah, right. Yes, he signed up for it. And so he did it. But I just know that, like, this was not something he was happy about.
He can't complain because I did a whole show where every single show they dropped KY jelly on my head.
Yeah.
Every show. He was in the show. It was in college. It was noises off. It was supposed to be a plate of sardines. And the only thing the props came up, which it looked convincing, was to put KY jelly with fake fish in it and drop it. And every day I went home with my I had bangs at the time, just crusted in KY jelly. I had to take a shower every night.
Oh my God. Yes, that's worse. That's worse.
So I win that one.
Thank you, High Priestess. Now, a chaotic rhythm beaten on drums of human skin.
And I wish Sky were here to talk about this because I know that he took a lot of time. I mean, Sky didn't know Ava, who was playing Bella here. They didn't know each other. And so, but I remember that prior to this scene, Sky took a lot of time to talk to Bella, outside, off camera and stuff like that, to be comfortable with actually performing this scene, which was fantastic of him. Fantastic to make sure that this was okay because, yeah. This is kind of weird scene. But on the other hand, Ava is like all in anyway. When Ava is on set, I mean, Ava's like a force of nature, right? So,
there's not a lot of distinction between Ava and Bella, it's
right.
almost like pure typecasting.
She's just,
Ava's will take over the world. So she had no problem. You know, she was talking with Sky. She was joking. She was making jokes back and forth. I mean, she's always just, talking with people and stuff like that. And it's like, all right, what we got to do here with this, play a rhythm on your stomach thing. I mean, she just ran with it.
Oh, nice. I love that beat.
In his house in Rillier, dead Cthulhu waits streaming.
Great Cthulhu, I pledge myself to you.
Cthulhu Patagon.
And of course, when we were writing this, we wanted to be sure that the whatever's being said mirrored exactly what happened to Rob in season 1. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's an exact replay.
It's so cold.
Hold still. Says it's supposed to hold it there for 10 to 15 seconds.
Okay. How's it look?
Oh, fantastic, dude.
Now that, because in season 1, Ben says, when my time comes, I think I'll get the temporary tattoo of Cthulhu. That was set up in season 1 that was going to happen. So that was set up. I mean, go back and check, everybody. Go back and check. But, it's there. We set that up that this was going to happen. And so, I think I've got more temporary tattoos over here, like, in this drawer over here, right? Because we had to design that temporary tattoo. I had to order it, so that's a real temporary tattoo, right? That was custom ordered, and I had several of them on set because we needed several of them as well because on different days, because the next day, whatever, we had to apply it again and stuff like that. So I have several of that temporary tattoo to for the show.
Good.
Definitely some of my best work.
Now, Steve's time has come.
I love that too. Ben standing up like that, and it's like, all right, now Steve is done.
Mike.
Mom! You're home early.
He made me do it.
Sky's pointing was completely on Sky, right? That was what we were thinking, that like, oh my God, Dave needs to join in on pointing in that direction.
I just also love that Mom's like, Bella, like, how could you join in with this tomfoolery? Like, I raised you better.
And also the throwing of the sponge. That was all like some that the actors came up with. The pointing and the throwing of the sponge back to him.
This is actually a really hard moment to edit.
I'm sorry, what was that?
That was just a really hard moment to edit. Like, you wouldn't think so looking at it. Like, it feels so seamless now, but I remember we did like 5 or 6 different versions just of those last like 10, 15 seconds of that. I don't know why it was so tricky to get right, but it just took forever.
I remember that now that you bring that up. There was a lot that went into that, and I think it had to do with who you cut to at what time.
Yeah, and it was
in what order you show stuff.
Sponge throw and like, I don't know. We tried it so many different ways. I think that was the only way that really worked, though.
Yeah. That was. I think that was it. That there were, because I think that the way we show it in that final cut is out of order of the way that it was filmed.
Yeah, and so it didn't really we didn't arrive to that naturally. Like, it took some effort.
Right. Yeah, there was all that stuff going on, and then we had to edit together and figure out what the best way to make it look on the show was. Yeah. All right. And
I don't know. I like going to parties and being priestess. So, worth it?
Fantastic from Ava.
This calls for drastic measures.
Now, what's mom's drastic measures? Well, I guess we will have to see next week.
Find out.
We will have to find out next week. Yep, stay tuned next week. Megan, do you have a few more, and Brennan, since they're sitting in the same room, do you have, I know we're over an hour here, but do you have a few more minutes? Do you want to talk about your scene as the police officer?
I mean, yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. I was just excited to tackle somebody.
Okay, well, let me bring it up.
Something
then.
is-
If you're willing to stay with us, let me bring that up then, because we've had Dad talk, Tom talk about his role as Dad. So let me bring up the police officer because you've got two different episodes.
Yeah,
Where that was in. So here, this is how, like I said, Megan. We're talking about costuming and stuff like that, but Megan then also came in and did the police officer role.
We
So
thought it
let's.
would be funny if a small girl did it.
Right. So here we go. So this was the scene.
Hey, Judith! Stop that!
How many times did we do that?
Not too many.
Not much. I think I only had like 3 takes of Peter's medium, and then I think also 3 takes.
I mean,
of
we
the wide.
practiced it a couple times before to make sure nobody was going to break a bone or anything.
Yeah, 'cause
And
we
there was
didn't have a
something-
crash pad.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, we did.
Yeah.
Right. See, that's what I was saying, because when you were looking at it this way, you come running up. So we had to do it that way. But now here we cut to him, and I think this is where we had an air mattress for Mike.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was for this shot because I just ran at him. I was not holding back a whole lot.
I still think you could have hit him harder.
Probably, but I also didn't want to hurt him.
No, I know.
So there was the scene where all of us scatter, where you run up and all of us scatter, but you didn't tackle him, I don't think, when we were shooting those, like in that wide thing.
No, yeah, that was a separate shot. Yeah.
Right. But then here, there's another take where you run up to him and we have that air mattress. And so that, because we cut again there. So there was the air mattress there where you've got to hit him and you take him down. And then actually right here, like this was not the tackle, that was like halfway down, moving him down or something like that. So there were 3 different versions of that had to be done to make this scene.
Yeah. No, it was fun too. And I also, I think it was you had to show me because I was not, I don't know how to handcuff somebody's hands behind their back and make sure they don't go anywhere, like with my knee and stuff.
Oh yeah, there was the learning effort. But
Like, yeah, I just didn't the first time I did it, and I don't know if it was you or somebody else who was just like that. No, I was like, I'm not a police officer.
Well, you knocked him over, and then you just completely got off of him. And like, if it was a real criminal, like they would just get up and run away again. Like they were just, it was just like you're either a very new police officer or you're just a very dumb one. But
both.
Well, no, I mean, because you're so put together in the next episode when you're talking to his mom. I like that scene better. Actually, this is great. But I think there's a lot of really nice dialogue in that scene.
We'll go over to that next episode here in just a moment. But this is where it started. This was Megan's first appearance as the police officer.
It was just fun.
H Gamer says, finally finished watching the episode. Another amazing piece of art. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
My hair is so short. It's crazy.
It's very short.
Don't get me wrong, but it's definitely got some length to it now.
We have seen a variety of Megan's hair length between
say,
dinner and board game here now.
Yeah, short, and then I've also I was pink for about 6 months, which was fun. We may go back to it. We'll see. I don't know. Keep it fresh.
Megan and I were talking about. There have been so many ideas that I've had as the result of doing the live streams over the past month. And Megan and I were talking about cosplay ideas. And Megan and I were also talking about how we can finish Dinner and a Board Game and get the rest of the second season finished and stuff like that. People,
content.
There's gonna be material coming. Like we've got great ideas. Okay, so that was that episode, and then I believe it's this episode. Sorry. So this episode right here.
Looks like you have
hopefully Rachel will be able to join us. Oh, is it this episode?
I think there's an in-between episode.
Let me see.
Oh, you're right. I believe that you skip an episode before she reappears.
Yeah, and then we go, and then we cut back. Meanwhile, back at the ranch type stuff.
Okay, hang on. I can find that. Oh, I think I found it. Oh, I did find it. Okay, so so there's an episode that skipped, and then here we have,
What about that boy, Rob?
the next episode that has Megan in it because Mom's talking on the phone, and then is interrupted.
Good. Oh, I'll call you back.
Here we go.
Ma'am, is this?
My dog is.
Fantastic job, Megan. I mean, you immediately bring it. And I also do love the fact that you're so much shorter than he is.
Yes.
In this scene, but you are dominating the scene, from the power perspective,
Thank you.
You're it.
It's your son.
Yes? What happened to him? What happened to you?
Nothing.
Your son and his gang beat up a homeless person in the park.
You're in a gang now?
No, I'm not in a gang.
That's one of my favorite lines. That Mike is so that no, my God, this is not a gang. It's a cult.
I'm in a cult.
And you beat up a homeless person?
He deserved it.
Very, very forgiving officer.
Yeah, well, I feel like you see me kind of like a little bit like, yeah, Mom's gonna deal with it. Like, I don't need to deal
I think
with
that's
it.
my favorite comedic moment in season 2 is all that dialogue. Sorry, someone commented. So I might be ahead of you here, Heath. My bad. But yeah, he deserves it. It's great. It's fantastic.
That's Mike's rationale. You beat up a homeless person. He doesn't deny it. He's just like, he deserved it. Like, do you realize what's going on out there? And yet, Plush history is like, this is my favorite moment in season 2. I think it was a great moment.
I think it's I felt like that's how I like when I see Becca take him, the look in her eyes, I know that Mom's gonna deal with it. Like, I don't need to do anything else.
In terms of like how it looks too, like the way it's shot, it's one of my favorites as well. It's clean.
Oh, Gold Star. We get Gold Star H Gamer says my favorite episode so far. Those jokes and timing are too perfect.
This episode or the one that you shared?
I think he's talking
this one.
Yeah, I think this episode that we're watching here, I think.
The jokes hit real. They were.
Becca's so good too.
But as we were shooting this, and of course, I think we actually talked about it on set. The timing worked so well, but there is something weird that happens during that scene.
What do you mean?
Because Plush is agreeing with Gold Star. Completely agree that this is such a fantastic episode. Yeah, we get confirmation that the current one we're currently watching is the one that we're talking about. Fantastic comedic timing. But there the controversy that I was thinking about in the scene as it was being shot, and we talked about on set, is that like when Mike appears, he's been handcuffed by the police officer. Right. And so I think as we wrote it, like as the script was, that he remained outside or something. I mean, there was something different about this because he's handcuffed. You can see that he's got his hands behind his back.
I had a hand on his hands too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
And you beat up
if he's been handcuffed
a
right
homeless
there,
person?
He deserved it.
We have all this drama with Mom, and then Mom grabs him and brings him in, which is so fantastic.
You see him looking over the thing.
Right. He's looking back. That is so great. He's looking back out. That is so perfect. That's so perfect. Because I think that was done kind of spontaneously about how this goes, except for if Mike were still handcuffed at that point, Mom has brought him in. Right, exactly. And that was the issue. That was like, okay, this is working really well, except for Mom hasn't noticed that
he's still handcuffed. And I just leave.
Yeah.
Right. And you just stand there like, look, all right, well then, all right, I guess mission taken care of. Right. And you walk off. Right. So it's like, well, all right, fine. You're not worried about that. So, yes, that was great. Megan, fantastic job as the police officer. Fantastic job.
I had fun.
Yeah. All right. I'm so glad you two could join us. I think this has been a fantastic live stream. Hasn't it been, everybody? Everybody, I've been enjoyed the chat, everything like that. Let me take this down so we can bring us back up here. Again, we have been talking to Brennan, who is our director of photography and main editor of the show. He's the one who's putting it together behind the scenes. So you don't get to see much of him. I pointed out when you see him, because you have been on season 1, so he's been on camera, and every time we've seen Brennan, so there he is. We have seen him, but now here he is as well. He's mainly behind the scenes, though. Megan's mainly behind the scenes because of costuming and all that, but she came in front of the camera for the police officer. Linda. Linda is here. I'm so glad to see you, Linda. Linda is also one of our regulars. Glad to have you here. Thank you so much.
And above what Stray said.
Ground. Day 2 of being grounded, still cuffed. Yeah, he probably is. Right. Yes, exactly. Yes.
Mom would be like, you know what? You're going to sit in that for a second.
Oh, and plus history also says Brennan has done a wonderful job editing. So yes, he has. Brennan is, if we didn't have Brennan, none of this would happen because of all of the technical side of things, from the camera to the lighting to the audio to the editing. Brennan has been leading up this whole effort as far as the technical side of things. So if he wasn't here, we wouldn't have any of this.
When season 3 happens, hopefully we get to diversify that a little bit more.
I'm glad.
Right. That's one thing we want to do, because that's diversifying that side of things, especially in the audio department.
Yes.
You've probably noticed that the audio sounds so much better in season 2 than season 1. Well, we need to step that up even more in season 3, and one of the big things is to have a dedicated audio person, in season 3.
If you don't know, Heath was holding the boom pole for half the season.
Right. Yeah, I was holding the boom pole for half the season. Dax was holding it for the other half. Basically, you did it some. Right. Yeah. So, we all cycled in through the technical kind of side of things to try to get that done.
And Brianna did focus poles.
Yeah, Brianna did it a little bit. I think even Carol tried some of it too.
Yeah.
A little bit of it. So, yeah. So that's one of the things we're going to work on for season 3. Brennan and Megan, do you have places where if you want people to connect with you? Do you want to talk anything? Let people know where to connect with you if you have those.
I'm on Instagram at Megan Pecot, Pecot. That's mainly where I am, and I think I'm going to hop into the Discord, so you may see me around there.
All right.
Your social media.
You can find me on Instagram. Brennan Martignoni, Martignoni. Good luck remembering that. Just find me there if you care.
Well, there's a lot going on. Brianna's been writing scripts. Brennan has made other short films. We've got other short films in the works. I mean, I'm looking forward to just taking off. There's so much creativity around here. Stay with us. Stay with us. All right. Well, then, Wabadu, thank you so much, Megan and Brennan.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here. I have really enjoyed this. This has been a fantastic